Friend faked pregnancy to be our roommate and be taken care of.
Have known this friend for years, and we were close and used to spend a lot of time together after my child was born. At the end of last year, she lives in a different state, she told me her roomie boss was going to be closing his office and moving, and she wouldn't be able to go with him. She asked if we planned to move back and tried to say it would be a good time to buy a house and it would be good if we could move in together. Myself, hubby, 8-year-old, and her. Also asked if I could get her a job with my workplace. I told her we were never moving back. Worst time to buy a house. Can't get her a job because she isn't in the same profession and doesn't have the necessary degrees or training. And as we are in our early 40s, the window for having roommates is firmly closed. Didn't hear from her much until a month ago when she called freaking out saying it was emergency and she had no one else to turn to. Ex-roomie boss had kicked her out a few months prior as she thought he may have SA'd her. Now she was staying with a gangbanger cousin of a friend who was watching her every move, recording her with cameras, threatening to call the cops and kick her out. She didn't feel safe, etc. Also, she is 6 months pregnant and has been trying to get aid. Can't get into a women's shelter and she has been to a few doctors, but none will confirm she is pregnant, though she is visibly 6 months along, according to her. I asked more about this, where she'd gone, what they'd told her, etc., but she said it was really weird, and she was scared and thought maybe one of them was trying to steal her baby. I thought maybe they were trying to prevent her from getting aid, and told her she could come stay with us for a bit, as she had some money coming in the next month, and just needed some place where she could stay temporarily. I also told her, "We are cramped here and in the process of finding a new place to live, so our money is tight and accommodations are temporary." She arrives early next morning and not 6 months along and no sign of baby bump. I am thinking at this point that since it is her first baby and she is not clear who the father is, maybe she is only a month or two along, okay? Still going to help and still think she is pregnant, so we let her use our 8-year-old's room because we have no extra rooms and space is cramped. Entire visit she wears tight clothing, takes frequent naps. Baby is moving around a lot and makes her tired, does yoga in our front yard facing busy local street, sits on patio all day using my work phone because I said no, I would not pay to have her phone turned on. Every question we ask, who is dad of baby? Do you have further details about when your money is coming through? What happened with ex-boss roomie? All met with vague details, and a lot of her saying she wants to change the subject because it is too hard for her to talk about. She does and has done nothing to prepare for baby. We are very concerned for her. Maybe baby, so we give her info from a pregnant friend of a good doctor so she can go get checked out, as she continues to insist she is 6 months pregnant, and I am freaked that either she is and something is terribly wrong with baby, or she is less far along and needs to do better about managing her pregnancy. She books an appointment for the end of the week, and in interim keeps trying to make plans with us like she is on vacation, like, we should all get dressed up and go to fancy dinner. When are we going to go do something fun? We should do something fun for her upcoming B-Day, and she would like us to help plan. What else is there to do around here? The only time she talks about the baby, she talks about how she came here because she trusts us and wants us to help her raise her baby as she can't do it alone. She smokes a lot of green, asks for a beer for the first few days, talks about needing to dye her hair. No prenatal vitamins, says she doesn't need them because she is healthy. I cook our dinner every night. During day, my hubby makes sure our child is well fed with snacks and light meals. She asks several times, "Oh, you only cook dinner? You don't cook lunch or breakfast?" And asked my hubby several times, as he was making food for our child, if he could make her some too. She never offers to make dinner or lunch or breakfast, and the times she asks me if I only make that one meal a day, I tell her yes, but she welcome to make any meal she'd like and always welcome to any food in-house. She says she can't cook well. We start telling her she should get a job or some short-term work since she has no money or idea of when her money is coming through. She says she will start applying but can't get a W-2 job. So we tell her there are a number of places near us where we know for sure she can get 1099 work. She applies to none of them, has a few interviews via Zoom for places too far for her to drive to, and keeps telling the interviewers she is 6 months along and doesn't want to lie about that, so it seems like she is purposely sabotaging these interviews so she won't get the position. I give her gas money to get to her doctor appointment. She comes back and she can't believe it, but the doctor says she is not pregnant. She doesn't know how that is possible. By next day, she is fine, and it's like she never said she was pregnant. She is upbeat and back to asking what our plans are for weekend. We tell her we are setting up our camper and she can sleep in there, as we only let her sleep in our daughter's bed because we thought she was pregnant. She stays a few more days before coming to me midday and saying she is going back to her state as she has better job opportunities there and found a different sap to live with who said she can help around the house to earn her keep until she gets a job and can afford to pay rent there for the room she will be staying in. I give her money for gas because at that point, we are ridiculously uncomfortable and want her out. The kicker is, she says, "Well, since you guys don't want a roommate, it's better if I go. WTF?" I am at a loss for what her plan was, apart from for us to take care of her, give her a place to live, cook for her and pay her bills, because she asked again when she got here if I could get her a job with my place of employment. She obviously knew, as I had reiterated multiple times when she was here and before she got here, that we didn't want a roommate and don't need the headache, and that financially things were tight and we can't afford to support her. She said multiple times while here she was glad we would help her raise her baby, to which I said no, we would not. I feel bad about this, but I was very blunt and told her that while I'm glad for her, we have been going through rough times and don't have the emotional bandwidth to help raise a baby. That we would give her the help that we choose to and are able to give, but none of this would include helping her raise her baby or her living with us while raising her baby. It blows my mind, because while she is a diva, she has never pulled crap like this when I knew her before. She obviously lied about being pregnant, so I would feel bad enough to take her in, but don't wear a skin-tight bodysuit to the grocery store if you are pretending to be pregnant. I am so stupid for bringing her here and ignoring all the red flags in our emergency convo. To further add to my stupidity, I really trusted this chick. My hubby had made comments for years about why this chick wore super short skirts with no or tiny underpants, and it was so common that he has a towel or lap blanket ready whenever she came over, because otherwise he had a front row seat to her nethers. I stupidly put this at the door of her being foreign and raised in a place that wasn't founded by Puritans. I never questioned why I never saw her nethers, why this was never an issue when we went out together, or when it was just me and her. I didn't question that until this stay, when she asked my hubby why he let me wear a long dress that enhanced my chestal features to go out and run errands. It's a summer dress and fucking hot here. To be clear, my sweater hams were covered, no nips or areolas showing, but I am a busty lady. So how does someone who always told me how pretty I am and that she wants bigger boobs like mine wait until I'm gone to ask my husband how he could allow me to leave looking like that? And when he called her out for wearing her club-wear cutout bodysuit to the grocery store, she said, but she'd never wear something like that if she was married? Edited to add TLDR and additional context. TLDR. Friend said she was pregnant and SA'd to get me to invite her to stay. Arrived not pregnant and wanted to be our roommate and be taken care of. Not quite an update, but additional context. Why I think this is a massive case of entitlement is that my friend is tall and gorgeous. She takes excellent care of herself and turns heads everywhere she goes. I think that because guys constantly tell her she's beautiful, buy her drinks, take her out and pay for everything, it has altered her perception of reality. Maybe now she expects that everyone wants to take care of her. I think she intentionally courts this attention from wealthy men as she dresses provocatively 24/7 and tends to hang around older men with money. She would also ask if we were going to change for dinner or before leaving for the store. Felt a little aristocratic and antiquated to me.